Pleasure to have in studio with us a couple of students with the Synergy program, as well as Facilitator Bill Misiewicz. We'll be visiting with him a little bit later on. They've got an event called Derbies and Dreams. And talk about how this came about, the theme and the event. Did you do some brainstorming? What was the idea behind this, Addie?
Oh, so originally we were thinking about our project in the beginning of the year, and we're like, what's something we can do? And of course, Mr. Misiewicz threw the idea of, well, let's do something with the Curtis Mansion. I was like, I love the idea. So we reached out and we talked to some of the ladies from the Curtis Mansion with the Women's Club, and they loved the idea of an event for women empowerment. That's our whole thing, of women empowerment for young ladies. And as it kept building up, we were like thinking, let's find some speakers. So right now we have a bunch of different speakers speaking on how they've been empowered and how they use that to empower other ladies.
And how did you happen upon the theme of Derbies and Dreams?
Honestly, originally it was called Sips and Sunshine. It was going to be a afternoon tea, but when we were thinking, we were like, well, the Kentucky Derby is around that time. So we're like, how about we do it Kentucky Derby themed? And I was like, well, I love the idea of dressing up, wearing those big fancy hats. I thought that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay. Maddy, talk about your involvement in this. So it's just the project between you two, or other folks involved? Just you two?
It's just us.
Well, that's pretty good then.
You know, Maddy has been like the sidekick of them all, like our duo. We get a lot of stuff done together.
Getting Miss Iowa, how did that come about? I can't imagine that was too easy.
It definitely took some time. I had filled out an appearance fee or project thing for their like candidates and stuff like that, and I saw their Iowa's teen, Miss Avery, and I was like, well, her whole project is STEM based, and that's what our class is. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fill out this form, and like maybe, just maybe, she could come. Unfortunately, she has a dance competition that weekend, so she could not make it. But then we got an email back saying that Miss Iowa would absolutely love to be there if she could. And then I was like, butterflies, I was so excited. I was very excited to hear that she would be able to come. And she's actually going to be performing a little song for us there. So that's...
And she's not the only one. I see Molly Shannon's going to be there. Talk about getting Molly. Maddy, talk about getting Molly.
Yeah, we discussed with her back and forth a couple of times to try to figure out if it was available for her, because she is a rower at the University of Iowa. So being a professional musician would be really cool to have her there, just to bring more light to music for the girls. And she was available, and she's definitely going to be there.
Just a quick question for Bill back there. Bill, grab the microphone there. When Molly was in school, was Synergy around at that time?
I think at the very beginning, maybe her senior year. And at that time, we had a different vision for it, let's say that. And it was kind of out there for a lot of kids. And but yeah, she was around, you know, yeah.
Again, we've got Maddy and Addie, and Maddy, tell us about, we got to grease that, don't we? Put a little grease on that microphone back there. We have talked about the event, but we haven't talked about when, where, how people can get involved.
Yeah, so it's April 13th at the Curtis Mansion. And the way that you can sign up, we're giving out flyers to the elementary schools, as well as posting it on our social media. There's a QR code as well as a link on there that you can go to, and it'll bring you directly to the shop to be able to buy a ticket.
And what age group are you looking at? Is it primarily
8 to 12?
8 to 12-year-old, okay. How's the response been so far?
So far, we've had a really good response from everyone. Everyone seems super excited. We've had some people signing up already. The seating is limited, so get on that really fast.
You know, I was saying I've never been in the Curtis Mansion, so when you two both went in there for the first time, what were some of your reactions, your feelings? Addie?
I definitely thought it was different from the outside. I thought it was going to look a lot different. Once we got in there, you know, you don't realize how tall those 3 stories really are, and it's like the really high ceilings. And then there's a bunch of rooms, and
Maddie, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was absolutely beautiful. There's so many different architectural things that are still there from the original house, and it's just full of history, and I thought that was really awesome.
So again, it's going to be the 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. So obviously there's going to be entertainment. There's going to be some refreshments. Now, will you be speaking to the girls, you two, and telling them what it's going to be like when they get to high school?
We can. I never thought about that. Honestly, we had all of our other speakers saying stuff, but that's a good idea. We should
There you go.
maybe
Put
give
that-
a little high school advice.
Do you have any kind of a program set yet?
We have a little bit of a basic itinerary right now. We're kind of just narrowing it down to when we're doing what. So we're going over to the Curtis Mansion actually tomorrow to go look and figure out how we're gonna set it up.
And I understand you're reaching out for sponsors as
We
well, is that
are.
right?
We currently have multiple. We have Lulu Joe's, Nelson Corp, Gateway Realty, Edward Jones, Gable Chiropractic, and Clinton National Bank. But we are looking for more sponsors. So if you are interested, get in contact with Mr. Bill Misiewicz.
So what would the sponsors, I mean, it's probably to help offset some of your costs?
Yeah,
Yes.
so appearance fees, the food that we are going to provide, as well as decorations and all the different activities we're going to have there.
So are you telling these girls that when they attend this, they need to dress up, get themselves a big fancy hat?
Yeah, that's like my number one. I'm so excited for it. I already have a hat, and it's very big and red. Now I just need to get my outfit.
Well, there you go. And finally, we're going to wrap things up with Bill, but talk about how, not yet, don't move the microphone yet. Finally, how has Synergy helped you develop as an individual and in your high school career? Maddie, we'll start with you.
I've really enjoyed Synergy this year. It's been a great outlet for me to gain real-world experience in business because we're working within the community and getting to know so many different people on a professional level.
And you, of course, are a senior, so you're
I
going to be
am.
graduating. Do you got any
Yes.
plans yet for college?
Yeah, I plan on going to Capri College for cosmetology, and then eventually I want to own my own salon.
All right, very good. By the way, she's my niece. Not only my niece, she's my great niece. Addie, you're a junior.
Oh, I'm still a junior.
Yeah, so nothing wrong with that. Junior's a great year in high school. So what's Synergy done for you?
Synergy has definitely gave me the ability to speak in front of people. Like, I think if I went out to take this class, I definitely would not be able to speak on the radio. I wouldn't be able to, I had the worst stuttering problems, like in middle school and early high school. So definitely being able to stand in front of the classroom, like even now I've given some presentations in class and I feel so much more confident in it. My speaking ability is a lot better.
Well, that is great to hear. Bill, let's close things out with you. And thank you
All
for
right.
bringing these girls in and reaching out to us. So you've been right on the ground floor of the Synergy program. How have you seen its development and how it has helped young ladies like this?
When we first started off, we had done our training through Iowa Big in Cedar Rapids area. And their vision was actually more science, technology, a lot of math. They were building some projects, working on building renovation and small farms and along with civic community projects like what we do. When we started to evolve, it was like anything else. We had to, kind of morph into something. When the pandemic hit, Mr. DeLacy was our superintendent at that time, said, hey, can you come back in the spring of 21 and kind of keep it going a little bit? The only thing I knew with my social studies background was community development, economics. And just because I've been with my wife, who's been involved in a number of things, we started to reach out to people. We started with the murals, and everybody thought we did murals. We go, no, we do more than murals. And then we just started branching out, and every year we've been just kind of looking at what the students bring in terms of a passion project. And a lot of times you just have to sprinkle your own idea and kind of give them a gentle nudge, and sometimes not a gentle nudge, a little like a shove in the back, but that's okay. And it's really evolved into more of a community-minded, almost like a work sharing program.
So for a student to be involved in Synergy, I mean, do they apply for this or how's that process?
Okay, so the process is we try to identify some students that we think can handle the freedom, because they're going to an office downtown. They're given a lot of trust. Hey, you're going to be there at this time. You're going to leave at this time. We're trusting that you're going to do these things. And they have to have a little bit of creativity, and they have to be able to move forward. And, that's where we facilitate. Kellen Schneeberger is my facilitator this year. And we just try to move them forward. And we try and, they're supposed to fail. And sometimes they do fail, but it's always failing forward. Sometimes our partners are not that enthusiastic about a project, and sometimes they just kind of disappear. It's kind of a, odd little thing, but it happens, in real world. But to me, I think it's a great program. The other thing too is we then interview the kids. We try to, pick, certain students. And really, the biggest thing that hurts us, Gary, is the scheduling, because it's better for us to go in the morning when, people in business are generally answering their emails and getting after it a little bit, and we can hold our meetings. And then, some students, like we've had some really great students go, no, I'm going to take my first hour off, or I don't want to do this. And so it's really these students here, to give up some free time when they really don't need to, and to develop a skill set. When these guys graduate, for the students that haven't done this, their skill set will be way above those other students.
All right, very good. And again, thank you both for coming in here this morning. Again, if people would want to be a sponsor, and give us when and where and all this is going to take place. When and where?
At the Curtis Mansion, April 13th from 1 to 3.
And because they want to be a sponsor, how could they get in touch with you?
Find a way to contact Mr. Misiewicz on Facebook, on his email, or...
So they can contact me through the high school with my school email, or a lot of the people that have their own businesses, or, they want to get involved. I mean, this is a really great program for young ladies to see some other ladies who have achieved some great success. If they can just reach out to me through a personal message on Facebook or Instagram, that'd be fine.
Well, reaching out, and Addie's reaching out for the microphone. Did you have something that you
I
wanted to
just
say,
wanna
Addie?
Thank you for letting us come on your show.
No problem. Thank you all for coming
Thank
in.
you.
And Bill, go enjoy that golf game today, okay?
Okay.
You're listening to AM 1340 KROS, Clinton, Iowa.
FM 105.9.
and KROSradio.com.